Okay, in this recording we will be talking quickly about data types and data frames, and we will be examining a specific object in our data sets. So first, let's go and open our first project, because this is a place that we were left at. So let me just close all of these, and let me clean the console, Control L. And again, we said we can do the comments if you just have, you can do the commenting here. So if a line of the R code starts with a symbol hashtag, so this is not going to be evaluated. And we can use this to write reminders of why we wrote this code. So that's why I say here, I'm finding the area of rectangle, right? So for comments, you can do here, you can go finding the perimeter of the same rectangle. You can say perimeter P or perimeter, you can call it perimeter. You can assign this okay. You can say 2 times W plus 2 times L. Then you can run the code. Let's run all of them first. Run this code. We have perimeter is here, it's 36. If you'd like to see it, you can just print perimeter, the auto-generating 36. So variables in R can be of different types. For example, we need to distinguish numbers from character strings and tables from simple list of numbers. Who can help you with this is another function, is a nice function called class. This function class helps to determine what type of object we have. So for example, I would like to check the class of, let me put this all the way on the console. I don't want to keep running. So let's run this on the console. Class of L. What is L? I see object L here. What is L? Oh, it's a numeric. So this L, this object takes a numeric number, right? You can check other class of area. It's again numeric, takes a numeric value, right? We will be talking about different data types in the following video recording. Now let's talk about something else. So up to now, the variables we have defined are just one number. And again, this is the most important part, by the way, so far. And this is not very useful of storing data. We don't usually do this. So the most common way of storing a data set in R is in something called data frame. So conceptually, what does this mean? We can think of a data frame as a table with rows, these rows representing observations, and different variables reported for each observation defining the columns. So let's do something. Let me go to library. I did not maybe install this library before, so let me install the library. Or if you'd like to call it first, try library DS labs. I have an error because it says the package is not installed, so we have to install it first. Install packages DS labs. Again, once you install the package, there's no need to redo this again. It's installed on your computer, so now I can load the library DS labs. And I would like to view dataset within this library called murders. Okay, let's look at this dataset. So this is my data frame. As we said, it's a table, rows representing observations, and variables representing columns. And they are useful for datasets because we can combine different data types into one object. A large proportion of data analysis challenges start with data stored in a data frame. So we store the data for our motivating here, the example now. And we can access this one, as we said, by just calling the library, then you view it or type data, then you can see it. And if you'd like to see the class of the murders, you can just type class. So it tells you this is data frame. So what comes to your mind is that, oh, we have a table now. What if you'd like to know more about this data frame? What does this data frame contain? There's another function called the structure, str. This is very useful to find out more about the structure of your object. So what we can say str murders. So this tells you what? This tells you that we have 51 observations of 5 variables. So we have 51 rows, and these rows representing the states plus the DC, and we have 5 variables. And we can see the name of the variables, state, the observation, the abbreviations, the region, population, and total. If you'd like to see the first few lines of this data frame, you can use another function called head. It's a very useful function as well. Murders. By the way, if you go back to structure, it tells you not only this, the types, look, it tells you what are the columns. It tells you first number of the observations, number of rows, number of columns. It tells you number of the variables, 5, and the name of the variables. It tells you the type of the variables, character, factor, numeric. We'll be talking about these in detail. Once we use the head, So it gives you the first 5 observations of the data frame. So each state now is considered an observation, and 5 variables are reported for each state. We need to learn more about every component. Suppose you care about just to view the population. You'd like to have access to the population column only, or to the region column, or to the abbreviation column, or to the state column. So what do? In this case, we use the accessor operator $sign. If you'd like to access only one column, you can use the $sign. Before you do this, for example, if you'd like to know the names of the variables that attached to a specific data frame, what you have to do, you can use names as well. Names, murder or murders. So these are the 5 variables attached to the data frame murders. So you can see it in a different way. What if you would like to only view one of the variable, one of the columns? You type murder, look, auto-generated data frame, and you can see it. I'm gonna hit tab. Then I'm gonna follow this one by the $sign. Once you follow this by the $sign, also autocomplete, auto-generated first. R tells you that, oh, murder's data set has 5 columns. Which one you would like to view? State, abbreviations, region, population. If you would like to see a region, R. If you start by typing R, so it tells you region, you just hit tab. There's no need for you to type everything again. Then what does this tell you? This tells you that you are going to view the region column of the murders data frame. Enter. And it gives you the order of this. So the order of the entries. This preserves the order of the rows in our data table. So what is the first observation of the region? South. Second, west. Third, west. Fourth, south. Fifth, west. Sixth, west. Seventh, northeast. Seventh, look, 7, number 7. 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13. This is 19, right? This is 49. This is 50. This is 51. So, as we said, it's easy if you can murder, again, auto-generating, $sign, population, autocomplete functionality, saves time, troubling of typing all of the names, hitting tab, saves the time, enter, you can see murder, or the population of the murder's data set. Next, we'll be talking about vectors and numerics, characters, and logical relations, or vectors. But before we go, note that everything we have done, most of the things we have done on the console, so we did not save anything on the workspace. We cannot see anything. We cannot see the murders here, by the way, because we did not save it in the workspace. But murder is already installed in the library that we already installed, which is called, I forgot the name, DS Labs. So I did not store it in my workspace. We did not store anything, just we are viewing some of the stuff here, some of the structures of the data frames and names and the first few observations. By the way, you can use tail function, tail murders. That tells you the last 5 observations of your data set. So let's pause here and we continue with the next recording about vectors.